Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nisa. In this video, before I start introducing the main subject for today's video, I will ask you some questions. Do you have phone, smartphone, or laptop, or tablet, or any other electronic stuff that has a big logo behind it? Like Samsung, Apple, Dell, HP, or maybe other brands like Huawei. If you have one, the next question is, do you know which company that actually make your product, your electronic stuff? Because in this video, I will talk about one company that was once a company that works behind the screen, works as the shadow for big brands. And this company is also the one that defined the early era of the smartphone revolutions, the HTC corporations. So we are talking about HTC corporations for today's video. And for years, HTC was the name behind the names, an original design manufacturer, or we know it as ODM. It is a company that makes products for other brands. So they quietly producing personal digital assistants or PDF for big brands for giants like Dell and HP. So everyone didn't know that their phone or especially their PDA was actually come from HTC. And but not too long after this kind company HTC is, in 2007, under the visionary leadership of Chair Wang, they finally made a brave movement, taking the risk to stop hiding in the shadows and began to launch their own global brand. And today, and that was a brief introduction for our main subject for today's video. And like the last video, I will also act like a strategic advisor, a business consultant for the chairperson herself. And I'm not just going to retell the history, but also to look into the data, the exhibits, the balance sheets, and also the market forecast, to understand more how they conquered the world and how to survive in this competitive industry. Without further ado, let's begin. Let's start with the money growth. If you look at table 5, the income statement, then you will find out that the numbers are staggering. It's very shocking to see, because in 2007, the net income in 2007, when the HTC just began its branding journey, the net income was already around 29 billion. And fast forward to 2011, in just 5 years, the net income, the profit, skyrocketed to 62 billion. It means that the growth was more than 2.1 times in just half a decade, in just 5 years. And also, at the same period, the revenue also jumped from 118.6 billion to 455.1 billion. It represented a massive annual revenue increase. It's because it's really a big jump in just 5 years for the revenue. But every peak has its own has a precipice, has its own difficulties. That though you're already at the top, sometimes you need to face a dangerous situations that also could lead you to any harm or any failure. And HTC also experienced the same thing. As you look into the market share challenge in table 2, yeah, in that table, especially look into the 2011 column, HTC alongside with Samsung and Apple was once a global powerhouse with a market share around 9.2%. They were the design manufacturer of the year. But look at the estimate numbers, the 2013 estimates. The market share numbers in 2011, 9.2, that was once the third rank after Samsung and Apple, decreased to 5.8%. While unlike Samsung and Apple that both steadily increasing the market share, and even the expert also expected the market share also increase, but not with HTC. So why is it getting harder for HTC? What is the challenge that faced by HTC? Let's take a look. Let's analyze the top two companies, Samsung and Apple. On one side, Samsung's market share surged or increased the numbers to 27.7% by 2013. They're using aggressive global marketing and pricing. That's how they work. That's how the marketing strategic of Samsung, and it proved work for Samsung. And on the other side, we have Apple that also maintained a good and increasing market share number to 22.6% with its proprietary ecosystem by 2013. Because as what we know, Apple has its owns and develops the software, the operating system like iOS and macOS X, and you need to take a note that it's only exclusively for the users, for the hardware. So you couldn't find the same software in Apple outside the Apple's hardware. So it's only for the one that bought the Apple's product. And HTC couldn't keep up with both aspects, the market strategy, the proprietary ecosystem. They didn't have it. And that's how the experts estimated their market share to drop by 2013. Then what makes HTC tick? What is the reason it behaves as it does? What is the inner visit? The inner working, the core motivation, the underlying reasons for its behavior, for its success. What is it? Is it because marketing firm, design house? I don't think that's the answers. And you can find the answers from the table 6. It tells us exactly what kind of company HTC is. As of March 2012, HTC employed or hired 16,746 people. And from the entire workforce, more than half, around 61% of the people was actually from the technical staff, from the IT staff, from the engineers. So when the Peter Cho says HTC is a company of engineers, the data proves he isn't exaggerating, because the company is, it is what it is. It's true that this company full of engineers, and HTC is a company where the majority um where the majority of the brains are focused on R&D and technical innovation rather than just sales or administration. So they didn't focus in marketing or stuff like that, like Samsung, but they focus on R&D team. And this company that full of engineers explain why HTC was the first one to launch 3G and 4G WiMAX LTE devices. They lead with the how and what of the technology. That is HTC as a company of engineers. Now let's take a look. Let's talk about the woman that sit at the top. The woman that lead the company, Cherwang. It is said that her leadership style often described as quietly brilliant, which is also the company's slogan. Some might call her hands off because she usually leaves the daily green to Peter Show. To Peter Show. But the sources suggest that she is pure visionary. She focuses on the big picture. She's only focuses on aspect like strategy, acquisitions, and risk management. And most importantly, she introduced a culture of innovations. She encouraged the people, especially the engineers in her organization, to questioning to question everything, and crucially, they are allowed to fail. They could execute every any idea in their heads, and then if it fail, then it doesn't matter. And it is a really good environment for the engineers, especially to experiment any ideas that they had to make, because in Cherwang's mind, in Cherwang's opinion, innovations is the key for the company. So that's why Cherwang ensures that HTC stays at what is it like, HTC known for its original design manufacturing, right? So Cherwang also wants to maintain that that original shape of HTC, as she keeps she she encouraged the innovations, the innovation aspect for the company. And I think that's an amazing side for her to encourage the people, the engineers especially, to act what is it to 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 take an action, to be brave, to execute every possible idea for the innovations for the company. And now that's for the leadership style of our leader, of the chairperson. And now what is the recommendation that I could offer to Cherwang? Now looking at the documents, looking at the data, my advice is to I think HTC should scale up the tablet productions. So yeah, I don't think HTC should double down on phones. Um, the what is it? if if they want to advance their positions in the industry, my advice is they should try to um pro- producing sorry make a massive productions for tablets. Why? Because in 2012 the tablet shipments were at around 116 million in units, and they forecast the numbers to be more higher than that number, even almost 4 times by 2017. And I think that's a good opportunity to scale up the productions for the tablet. And also because what is it, and also if we take a look at the smartphone market, it's really massive because your opponents with Apple, Samsung, and also China's brand like Huawei, yeah, Redmi. That kind of opponent is really you it's really tough competitions. So if you want to secure your position in the industry, then the tablet market is the answer, because it's projected to be worth over 1 million, not 1 million, but $1 billion by 2015. And it's a good opportunity for us. And also, Chairwangs shouldn't be could shouldn't I don't think so. Chairwang, yeah, oh yeah, I think that's right one. Chairwang shouldn't be worried um with with the money, because as what I mentioned or explained at the beginning, the net income is already um big. We have the capital to execute the innovation. You need to utilize the engineers people that you have in the company. So I think it's really good to take the opportunity to scale up the production of tablets, and also to not just to scale up the production, but also to give what is it, a unique feature, um to give the innovation from your people, so that you didn't just meet the same tablet, but also meet an innovation, yeah, an innovative tablet, and it's different from others. You need to utilize that. And that's all for me. And I think it's very fun, and it's very amusing to know that actually there is a company that made products for other brands like HTC, and it's really admire for Cherwan to make the HTC not only just to make products for other brands, but also try to launch their own brands. I need to give applause for them. And I think that's all. Thank you very much for watching my videos, uh, and see you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.